All right, you might have dreams of financial freedom, okay? And if you do, that's awesome, wonderful. But what happens to most people if they're in a bit of a situation with their money and things aren't going well financially, they kind of jump or they dream of financial freedom too fast and they miss a critical step. And the first step is to have a goal of financial peace. Financial peace is where you're not chasing your tail trying to make ends meet. It's where you're not swimming in debt. It's where you've got more money coming in than going out. It's where you feel in control of your money. And that's the very first big goal to hit before you can accelerate to financial freedom, okay? So people are trying to get to financial freedom way too fast. Go for financial peace. And how do you do that? Well, there are 5 steps that you can take starting from right now to achieve financial peace in your life. Because I know when you get to financial peace, you can run to financial freedom, okay? So the very first step is to sit down and audit your bank account. Figure out where all the money's going and plug the holes in the bucket so that no more can leak out. That takes probably an hour of your time. Sit down with your bank statements and do an audit. Do it with your spouse, do it with yourself, do it with your kid, whatever you need to do that now. Once you do that, start plugging the holes, okay? Why? Because we need a little bit of money, and here's why, okay? The second step to financial peace is to accumulate some of those savings you're making and set aside some money for emergencies. The reason why that's important to fund your emergency account first is so you don't have to rely on credit card debt all the time. And I see too many people, they don't plan for uncertainties. But life is uncertain. The only thing that is certain in life is that it's uncertain. So we have to plan for those uncertainties because we can't see them. So rather than you reacting to the uncertainties and running to your credit card when you need to do things like fix the car, pay for that, get a speeding fine, those things may happen. So we've got to plan for them in an emergency fund. The second step to financial peace is to actually fund your emergency fund. Aim for 3 months worth of expenses, but at the very least, aim for 2 months worth of expenses. The third step to financial peace is once you've done that, you've got to get into the habit of paying yourself first, okay? So instead of funding your emergency fund after that, you take that money and you pay yourself first before anyone else, before any bills, before you do anything. You just put 10% into a separate account, just 10%. Why 10%? Because you can pretty much live off 90% of what you make now without it drastically interrupting your lifestyle, okay? So 10% is all you need to start with because it's not about getting rich fast, it's about developing the habits of the rich. And the rich, the habits they have is they audit their bank statements. They know where their money's going. They also have backup money in an emergency fund. They do. And they also set aside money and pay themselves first. They all do that. I do that. And so once you've done that third step of starting to pay yourself first to 10%, over time you'll see that build up. The fourth step is as you're doing that, if you have any debt, then you've got to put a debt repay plan in place. And usually people have personal debt, they've got credit card debt, they've got car debt. So figure out which is the most expensive debt, the one with the highest interest rate, and that will probably be credit card debt. So once you figure out what that is, aim for one credit card, aim for the smallest balance, and focus your attention on actually paying off your credit card debt before you go to step 5, which is to actually invest your money. Credit card debt repayment, it's not easy and it's not pretty, it sucks. But you've gotta embrace the suck of doing that. You've gotta sit down and say, well, look, if I'm gonna pay this credit card off or all this debt off, how much am I gonna commit to the money that I'm actually saving and paying myself first? How much am I gonna commit to paying the debt off? And put a plan in place and commit to it and just let it pay itself off over time. It's okay that you're paying it off over time. It's probably better than paying it all in one go because then you won't be inclined to just take the credit card and re-spend on it. Pay it off over time and then cut your credit cards up and don't rely on credit anymore. Or buy now, pay later stuff. You don't wanna do that either. The fifth step is really to take some of that 10% you've paid yourself and start investing in assets. Start investing in shares, start putting it away and investing in something. Real estate, certainly index funds, shares, things where you can just begin. Because again, wealth is a habit and the wealthy invest in assets. Before they invest in fancy clothes or holidays or anything like that, they invest in assets. How do I know that? Because that's what I do. I started investing 15 years ago. I started implementing these steps 15, 16 years ago. And that's why I'm able to do this. It's not because I've done this first. So they're the 5 steps. And if you can complete those, you've got a money system in place. And if you look at the world, we're all part of a system. The world is made up of systems. The universe is a system of galaxies. The galaxy is a system of solar systems. The planets have a system. The weather has a system. Our bodies have a digestive system. We're built of systems. So if you don't have a system for your money that follow 5 simple steps, how are you going to get success? So once you set up your money system, these 5 steps, you will 1000% be on the path to becoming wealthier. You'll have developed the right habits and behaviors of the wealthy. And that is so important. So these steps will get you results for sure if you follow them and you're patient and you're disciplined, but It's the habits and the behaviors that I want you to take away from this. Because once you do that, I promise you, when you get a lot of money coming in and you have this money system in place and you follow it, you'll scale your wealth. Because once you invest it and it grows beyond your time, you will be absolutely in a position of financial peace, moving towards financial freedom. The last bit of this though is a bonus step. I want to leave this with you. They're the 5 steps to financial peace. To springboard off financial peace to financial freedom, the bonus step is all about making extra money. Can you do overtime? Can you get a second job? Can you get a side gig? Are you working weekends? Are you working evenings? Can you get into a business? Can you somehow sell something to make extra money? Can you work more? And that's okay to work more once you have this 5-step system in place. You'll want to find more money. You'll be compelled to find more money. You'll be motivated to find more money because you'll think, fire, I've got this money growing system in place. I want to go out now and actually make more money because I can put it straight into this system and scale it. I promise you, if you do that for long enough, you'll be able to do this. You'll be able to drop everything and come to Bali. You better drop anything and go anywhere, but only if you follow these steps. So I hope that helps you. I hope it makes sense. Leave me a comment below about these 5 simple steps to set up your financial peace system and let me know how it goes. But begin, finish, and repeat. All right, talk to you soon.